Yesterday, I got a behind-the-scenes presentation of The Finals, a new FPS from Embark Studios. Lots of people who worked on the Battlefield games are now working here, and I gotta say, this project looks absolutely insane in all the best ways. The Finals has got some serious style. The graphics look great, but the destruction is on a level that I just haven't seen in a video game before. It's also a game that is a game. Like an actual game show where the people you play as are characters competing in a hyper-realistic show for money. Now, to break things down into more gamer terms, this is a free-to-play, team-based FPS extraction-style game with an emphasis on destruction and some tournament-based rule sets. The graphics, as you can see, are top-notch, built in the Unreal Engine with a custom-developed destruction system unlike anything that I've seen before. Multi-story buildings can be leveled to the ground all at once or bit by bit, and the destruction is server-side, so what you see will sync up exactly with what your opponent sees. That is some very big brain netcoding and no small feat for the developers. It's also entirely necessary to have a casually competitive game built around a destruction system. The game is also having a closed public alpha at the end of the month, and you can sign up via Steam. I'll have a link in the description if you want to check it out. Now, a big intention of this game is to have the destruction kind of be like another player on the battlefield. Cover may only be cover if your opponent doesn't have a way to destroy it, or drop something on top of it or behind it where you're hiding. I think the creative and/or emergent opportunities in combat are kind of going to be next level here compared to what other games are, and I can't wait to see them. Now, speaking of seeing, well, there isn't a lot to see here, or at least within the trailer it's there and then gone within a fraction of a second. They invited me to a behind-the-scenes event that showed some pretty cool clips, and then what you're seeing is about 50 seconds of gameplay chopped up into this kind of crazy split-second edit, and then it's gone. Not exactly what I would call a visual cornucopia, and I hope that you guys don't have to wait too long to see more of the game. Now, of course, behind the scenes, the developers were more than willing to answer a whole bunch of questions about just the basic mechanics and functionality of the game. The team sizes are going to be 3 players. A match is currently being designed around 12 players total, so that would be 4 teams of 3, which sounds small, but with a tighter round-based gameplay and tournament-based system, I think it could actually build up a similar level of intensity when comparing it to a typical battle royale. Now, the final design of the game isn't set at the moment. Currently, sessions are 8 minutes in length, and there's going to be 3 stages in each match, so we'll have to see how much intensity can build up by the time a team actually makes it to the finals. I'm sure that can and will be tweaked if needed to create the proper amount of intensity and challenge to get to the finals. Ultimately, you want enough challenge and you want the right amount of reward to get the best 3-man team up to the point of winning the entire finals, right? So you got to make it through the right amount of players by the end of it. I'm sure that can and will be tweaked if needed to create the proper amount of intensity and challenge. Part of the fun of the Royale experience is the fact that winning a round means that you beat a lot of other players to get there, and it seems that the tournament format for the finals could provide that with a smaller, faster round format. So we'll just have to wait and see how it actually pans out at the end. Now, rather than extracting from the game entirely to win, you actually need to extract money from the game, specifically the gold coins and coin boxes that you'll find in the game. You'll need to locate these, then take them to extraction locations and complete an extraction process, which can give other players a chance to intercept you during that extraction process, which I don't think is instantaneous. It takes a little bit of time, and I'm sure there's some sort of alert process that'll give other players a chance to intercept you while you're extracting. At the end of the round, the team which has extracted the most coins will win. There's also a revive process for teammates, but I don't know how it works yet. Killing an enemy player turns them into coins. You can then collect that player's coin and extract it as well. The players turn into coins because the world is actually a virtual world. Basically, the game is a game in itself. It's a self-aware game, kind of like a Ready Player One situation. And I kind of like this. It fits the visual style and gives the developers a lot of freedom where you could sort of put anything here and mix a lot of things together. And it gives them just the opportunities to really do anything that they want with the game. And yet it still kind of feels grounded in reality to an extent. Now, of course, the game is free to play. The monetization model will be designed around cosmetics. The style, in my opinion, is very cool, and I could see myself wanting to buy some stuff in game if the gameplay is fun, of course. Your style in game will also be somewhat based on your loadout as well, and choosing your weapons and gadgets will determine your look and performance to an extent as well, I believe. From my understanding, speeds, tankiness, shooting versus melee focus will be customization options available to players. Going through the trailer, you'll also see some very brief clips of flamethrowers, katanas, grappling hooks. You can see a player throwing a heavy object that's on fire and then it explodes, which kind of reminds me a bit of like Half-Life 2 launching explosive barrels with a gravity gun, or Crysis 2 picking up explosive barrels and throwing them. So seeing this in a new competitive environment gets me really excited because I always enjoyed that type of physics gameplay. The developer said that they're really trying to give players as much agency as possible here. So how you build your character, both from how you look to how you play to what you destroy and how you interact with the environment, it sounds actually really cool. They began their presentation talking about being tired of working at big studios that were just reskinning the same formulas over and over again. Embark is about using new techniques and technology to make taking risks in the video game industry basically less risky for them. There's apparently more information about that on their website. Now, the finals takes a lot of inspiration from stuff like the video game Smash TV, the movie The Running Man, the show Squid Game, the books and movies Hunger Games, and other stuff from that genre. I think the game and concept is a great idea, and the developers are really onto something here. The idea is absolutely in the right place. The style, in my opinion, looks fantastic. I think really it's just up to the execution at this point and whether or not Embark can deliver. And well, I don't think we have much longer to wait. The release date is not yet announced, but the first closed alpha is happening from September 29th to October 3rd, so quite literally days away. You can sign up for a chance to play, and again, I'll leave the link in the video description. The launch for the game will ultimately be on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation for free, so as players, what do we got to lose, right? In my opinion, it looks like an exciting take on things from a brand new studio, and I'm a jaded old gamer, so that's saying a lot. Let me know what you guys think about that trailer. It was heavily edited, very quickly edited, and it's hard to deduce a lot from something so slapped together in such a quick way like that. I do kind of wish that there was longer cuts of action sequences that players could kind of ascertain a bit more from. Maybe they'll release something more in the near future that we can kind of piece together a bit more from, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.